So Dave, I found a new way to eat bagels. Check it out.
Phil, what are you doing with my drill?
It's just I stuck the bagel on the cordless drill, so now I just
That is...
take a bite, rotate, take another bite.
That's interesting, Phil. That might work with corn on the cob.
Oh, work very well with corn on the cob. You just do a roll, and then
But
rotate.
then wouldn't you need two drills? You got one on each hand where you just...
I'd be worried about torque at that point. You could have a freestanding axle on this end.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good for support.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the weekly MANcast.
We got a good episode coming up. Join us after the break.
Oh, it's the weekly MANcast. Oh, yeah. You got your one host, Dave, who does the editing. And then your other host, Bill, he doesn't do anything. Weekly MANcast, yeah.
Well, we got a pretty interesting episode for you today.
Yeah, and very interesting, in fact.
Yes, we're going over the top 10. We're going to do a top 10 episode. And this top 10 is going to be the top 10 comedy duos.
Of when?
Ever.
Ever?
Ever. Well, maybe not ever. Maybe of the recent, the past...
20 years?
20 years? 20 years? 20 years is probably reasonable.
The past, 100% of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, the top 10 comedy duos.
So, we'll start at the end. Number 2 is...
Dave, it's 10. We're in decimal.
Oh.
Not binary. Yeah.
Oops. Number 10.
Number 10.
See, it's a 1 and then a 0.
Yeah, I got it.
Number 10 is Mario and Luigi.
Mario and Luigi, pictured here.
Yeah.
Actually, are they even... I don't even know if they're funny. Are they a comedy duo?
Look how much they've grossed from their horrible ways of walking through mystical forests and lands.
Does that make them funny? I mean...
Does it matter?
I guess not. If you're rich enough, you can pay people to think you're funny, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo just paid me 3 cents.
Hey, that's... Why? I don't want to know. Anyway, number 9 goes to these gentlemen right here, Harold and Kumar.
They now have 2 movies. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle and Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
Very true, and I doubt there will be any more because one of them, who will remain nameless, works for our lovely president now and gave up his glorious acting career for greener pastures.
That's
why they're only number 9. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on, we have...
Number 8, it's a Sideways Infinity.
Yes, it is. That's very astute of you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have number 8.
This is Adam and Jamie Heidemann.
Yes.
From Mythbusters.
Actually, they're not Adam and Jamie Heidemann.
It's
Adam Savage
and Jamie Heidemann.
They're not married yet. Anyway, they're pretty funny. I mean, most of their funny factor is the fact that they're pretty cool. They do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, their funny factor is increased by the fact that they like to blow stuff up.
Right, and let's be honest, Adam Savage does some pretty crazy kind of funny stuff in all of his voices and stuff.
He does.
It's a little bit creepy, but then you got the straight man, Jamie, just sitting there and being very
manly.
I guess that's the word. I was going to say stoic, even though he's wearing a beret and has like a walrus mustache.
But it's great.
It takes guts to do that.
He pulls it off.
All right.
Okay, number 7.
Upside down L. Number 7.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure you recognize these fellows. Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn.
Yeah.
More commonly referred to as Dumb and Dumber.
Which one's dumb?
I always wondered that. I feel like we need to do a study on this and get back to the viewers.
I think next week we'll do a study on that.
All right. And if we're wearing brightly colored tuxedos, you'll know what we've concluded. And at any rate, number 6.
Number 6. It's an upside down 9.
I guess if you... Yeah, okay. Anyway, number 6 is Billy Mays and Anthony Sullivan. The late Billy Mays, unfortunately. Very tragic.
It was bad. It was that week where all the celebrities were dying. Not
true.
A good week to be a celebrity.
No, not at all. Although the rule of 3 stuff. Anyway, Billy Mays and Anthony Sullivan, for those of you who don't know, had one season of a show called Pitchmen.
Yes.
And they were actually a very dynamic duo. Like, you wouldn't necessarily expect 2 pitchmen such as themselves to But they were funny. They would play off of each other. It was pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
and it was even better because they were longtime enemies, and then they started working together.
Yes.
So you got to see both aspects of that from them.
And it was pretty funny. For those of you who don't know, those commercials where people yell at you and tell you to buy things, that's those guys.
And unless it's the guy who sexually assaulted that other chick.
What?
Yeah, the slap guy.
I forgot about that too, yeah. Moving on, number 5. The comedy/magic act of Penn and Teller.
These guys are great.
Especially, yes.
They had a TV show.
They did? Don't they still?
I don't know, but I would assume so.
Okay. It's pretty funny.
And they're in Vegas all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of keeping all their tricks a secret, they tell you.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool, and it's actually, it works very interesting because they're very funny, and only one of them talks. Kind of like the Marx Brothers, only actually amusing.
It's kind of like us in about 60% of the episodes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
number 4, of course, could be none other than Eric Cartman and Kyle.
I don't know his last name.
Well, he's Kyle.
I mean...
We're talking about South Park
yeah,
here.
You
I mean,
guys know who they are.
It's South Park. These two,
they're pretty hilarious.
good friends, worst enemies, everything in between. Funny stuff.
Well,
really good.
Wouldn't they be good enemies and worst friends?
Don't overthink it. It's a cartoon show.
Okay, fine.
All right, number 3 goes to from the new show Community
on NBC.
On NBC, that's right. Feel free to send us money anytime, NBC.
Yeah,
From the new show Community comes Abed and Troy.
These guys are hilarious. At the end of all the episodes, they do some hilarious thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think our favorite is the rap in Spanish.
Yes, I think it's the 3rd episode or the 2nd episode. It's pretty early on.
I think it's the 2nd one.
It's pretty funny stuff. You should definitely check it out. And definitely watch Community whenever you get the chance.
It's Thursday nights, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah, one of those days.
All right. Coming down on the top 2 here, number 2 is, of course, Kyle Gass and Jack Black from Tenacious D and other areas too, but we don't really care about those because the only good thing they ever gave us was Tenacious D and School of Rock.
Yeah. Two very excellent productions.
Very excellent. They're musically gifted, they're hilarious, they're vulgar,
and they're hilarious.
Which
is why they are number 2 on our chart.
Yes.
Top 10 comedy duos.
These guys
of the last
are
20
amazing.
years.
All right. And now, you ready for number 1? Are you ready for number 1? Number 1. Get ready now, because we're going to tell you the ultimate comedy duo of all time. Stewie Griffin and Brian Griffin.
Well, I guess his name really isn't Brian Griffin, is it?
He goes by Brian Griffin.
He does.
Yes, he does.
He does. And somehow he drives a Prius.
Yeah, I lost a little respect for him when I found out about that.
But he also gets drunk as a 7-year-old.
That's true. He's only 7, and he has a 15-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid.
Does he?
Yes. And they explain it away with dog ears.
That's right.
And Stewie, of course, tries to correct him, and he hand waves it. At any rate, if you're unfamiliar with Family Guy, let's be honest, if you're watching this show, you're probably familiar with Family Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
By comparison, yeah, I like to think we compare.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No.
They have hundreds of professional writers on their group, and we just add to that.
And the important part is that Seth MacFarlane
is kind of hilarious.
He's kind of a comedic god. That was your top 10 funniest comedy duos of all time.
In the last 20 years?
In the last 20 years. Oh, by the way, for all you programmers out there, since 1 is actually the 2nd entry in an array.
Yeah, it's number 1 is number 2 in the array.
Yeah,
as everyone knows.
Right. So entry 0 on this list. These guys.
Yeah. It's.
You're looking at it.
It's these guys right here.
Yeah.
We have 4 thumbs and we can point at ourselves.
Yes.